I recall my undying love for the superhero genre to as far as I remember. Myself first watching 1978 Superman and 1980s Batman. The idea of a larger than life hero, vibrantly dressed and packed with both power and determination, always managed to keep me excited and hyped. Even now, during the overstuffed 2010s, heroes still find ways to keep me on the edge. I was first introduced to My Hero Academia through friends. Its sheer popularity and the growing disdain I felt for shonen turned me off at first, but through constant nagging and non-stop pestering that I have finally given both seasons of My Hero Academia a chance. And well, I can say I was disappointed, for the most part. Just for clearance, this review only covers the first season of Hero Aka, which aired in 2016. A second review for the show's second season will come up at some point. So, let's first talk about story and characters. Izuku Midoriya is one of those unfortunate few to be born without any superpowers named quirks. In a world where they are the norm. This is particularly disheartening to the young Midoriya due to his childhood wish to become a great superhero like his ideal All Might, considered to be the greatest hero alive. But knowing what kind of show this is, Midoriya is eventually selected by All Might himself to become his successor after a couple of fateful encounters lead one encounter to the other. And alongside childhood friend turned bully Katsuki Bakugo, Midoriya enrolls into a hero academy where he aims to become a pro hero, a professional and licensed hero. This is the basic premise of Hero Aka, which is not the first anime to tackle the subject of what if humanity was suddenly filled with superhumans. You have shows like Darker Than Black and to a lesser extent One Punch Man. And of course, there is the entire shtick of the X-Men series. Hero Aka, however, plays with this concept by making regular humans the oddity of its setting. Hero Aka's world is a fascinating one, and in the short running time the show has basic laws and as well as a society structure established. We are soon introduced to how cool quirk users can be to their quirkness fellow men, and how hard it can be to live in the world of the gifted without a knack of your own. While it uses many basic shonen tropes, young hero with a motive, teenage rivalry, and superhuman academy, and etc., Hero Aka has the most important recipe for its genre to work: heart. You are almost immediately invested in Midoriya's tale and the hardships he has to go through. Midoriya is such a wonderful rounded protagonist that you can't help but feel for him throughout his journey to become a superhero. As far as shonen heroes go, he is definitely one of the most likable. Other prominent characters include Midoriya's idol All Might, one of the greatest mentor characters ever, and Katsuki Bakugo, Midoriya's hot-headed rival. All Might is initially presented as he who lives to his title, the number one hero, but we are quickly shown that he is not as invincible as he claims to be. Bakugo is a hot-headed screamer who, despite his violent persona, is a genius when it comes to his abilities and fights. But his short temper and intense jealousy and bitterness for Midoriya make him into a far more complex character. Sadly, beyond these three, we don't get much character progress from the rest of the cast, as Hero Aka's main class, Class 1A, alone has about 20 students, not to mention teachers, unaffiliated pro heroes, and of course, villains. To the show's credit, they do give most of them at least one scene to make them memorable. Highlights include Midoriya's best friend, Kanya Rida, and Ochako Uraraka, classmates Su Asui, and Minoru Mineta, as well as their homeroom teacher, Shota Aizawa. The lack of substance for this cast stems from this being merely a bite-sized appetizer for a much larger narrative. Don't get me wrong, this first season of Hero Aka is good, even great at times, but it's clearly just a 13-episode trailer that serves more as an introduction to the anime's world, and as such, the pace can be noticeably slow until the final third of the show where we finally witness the stakes involved, which is a brief, yet brilliantly and intense showcase of Hero Aka's gem. The early episodes are keen, fleshing our principal characters out, but the story takes a while until it takes off, and when it does, the party is almost over. Joining it is the lack in clear motives for the villains and their portrayal as overall flat antagonists. For at least this season, the conflict is Hero Aka is rather black and white, with very little to no information given about the villains, goals and motives, which does leave a sense of dissatisfaction in the end. Now let's talk about animation and art. This is Bones people, and Bones are almost always known for their rather high production values with some spectacular looking shows under their belt such as Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist and Darker Than Black that still looks good and sharp a decade or more after their original airing. UrAvgOtaku has some gorgeously animated action sequences and some breathtaking moments where the animation bumps to ridiculous levels. In particular, the final episodes are a gift from the anime heavens. That said, the animation outside the action can feel a little clanky. Granted, from what it looked like, was done intentionally and it does provide with some genuinely humorous moments and little laughs. But I do wish UrAvgOtaku looked smoother in both in and outside the spectacle. Regardless of inconsistency, I can't express how much I love and how vibrant and richly detailed UrAvgOtaku can be, as bright colors fill up the screen and each and every character feels unique and distinguished. This is double praise for both Studio Bones, who could skimp on detailing and fleshing out almost 100 different characters, and original manga artist Kohei Horikoshi, who came up with all these wonderful designs in the first place. Now, let's talk about the audio and sound. Let's not mince words here. The first opening to UrAvgOtaku The Day is downright one of my favorite anime openings of all time. I can't express just how much I freaking love this damn song and how fitting it is to the show. The ending theme Heroes is somewhat less memorable but still a decent song to finish off episodes with. The soundtrack for UrAvgOtaku is one of my favorites from the last few years. It's filled with heroic sounding melodies and inspirational themes that fuel each and every scene with excitement and anticipation. Hell, even if you don't watch the show, you have probably heard of UrAvgOtaku, UrAvgOtaku's unofficial main theme. Not stopping there, the soundtrack has some more amazing songs including the actual main theme title, My Hero Academia, All Might's character theme, the sinister and excellent villain theme Rampaging Evil, and one of my favorites tracks, Villain Invasion. Now, after all this, let's talk about my final verdict. My Hero Academia has a good promise. It's a touching, exciting and heartwarming adventure with instantly likable characters regardless of how much time was given for them. Obviously, given its limited time, only a handful of characters were given the spotlight. But it's a good sign when you take a liking to so many characters with their own different quirks, no pun intended, and personalities, not to mention instantly iconic designs that make them easy to recognize. Of course, this first season is but an appetizer, a 4-hour teaser of a larger scale series. This is not necessarily bad, but on its own, UrAvgOtaku Season 1 may leave some disappointed and waiting for more. The world and the society depicted are truly fascinating, but the plot takes its time to get into overdrive, and by the time it does, it reaches its climax. Despite all that, however, despite all my criticisms, I believe that UrAvgOtaku is worth it, especially because there is already a second season and even a third season, which I will review, so the story is not done yet. UrAvgOtaku has a lot of heart, a key element that most shonen anime forget these days. Strong character drama and tactful action sequences fill those 13 episodes with life and emotion rarely seen in most 100 plus episodes epics. So, that was my opinion on the My Hero Academia Season 1. If you have your own opinions, I would love to know them on the comment box down below. Also, do hit the like button if you like the video and do share it to your friends, and do subscribe my channel for more such content in the coming days. And that's it for this video. I hope to see you in my another video. So take care. Bye bye.